Gonna get into this thing, see what she can do, see what we get. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I am Brandon Bicasso, if you don't know me, and today we're gonna be riding on the Indian Scout. Okay, Indian Scout. First start up. Oh yes. All right. Now the bike that I will be comparing this to will be the glorious Triumph Bonneville Bobber. If you have not seen my Bobber video, I suggest you go and watch that. Let's do the clutch travel. I'm gonna try to get in front of these two guys. Clutch travel is very good on this. But you can see a little bit of the information down here. We're rocking with 100 horsepower and 72 foot-pounds of torque, 6-speed, and of course we're fuel injected. But comparing this to the Triumph Bobber, we already have a different sit. Our feet are more outward versus being more kind of tucked in. Let's see what Buddy here is going to do. Oh, it's got a good turn. I like that. Let's see. He's letting us go. Yeah, we're going to have to pass him. Let's see what we got. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I can already tell. This has a lot more power than the Triumph Bonneville does. And that's not a bad thing. Oh, it leans so well. I like that. Oh yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. But on the dash, you know, we got standard stuff. You got your high beams, your signals, your horn. And on the gauge cluster, nothing too fancy. You got your gear, you got your RPM, you got your time, simple stuff. This bike isn't gonna have too many crazy electronics. Why? Because the whole idea is to have you looking face forward and enjoying the surroundings and also looking good while you're doing everything else. Now, I do kind of like the way the mirrors are stock, but they can be adjusted. And they can be adjusted in the sense where you can actually rotate these and put them under the handlebars versus them being on top. But for the ride quality so far, it's a very plush feel. I haven't hit too many hard bumps yet, but the whole Bobber line, when it was first introduced, you know, they're very raggedy feeling bikes. You know, it's almost like a rat bike. That's what I said about the Bobber, the Bonneville Bobber. It was a very rat bike feel. But now we have that look. As technology has progressed, now we can have the look with new electronics and more comfort. I never saw myself owning one of these or really being interested in it, but after test riding the Bonneville Bobber, like, I absolutely fell in love with that bike. Like the exhaust note on it, the the electronics on it, the simplicity of it, and just the overall just general feel and the character of that engine, that V-twin engine on that bobber was just absolutely gorgeous and just beautiful and delicious. It was just amazing. Now this, I can say the same thing about this. Everything on this feels good. Now I haven't gotten into the twisties yet, because if you know me, or if you watch any of my videos, you know I like to get into twisties no matter what is on, no matter what bike I'm on, I like to get into twisties. But so far this feels good. I gotta get used to where that shifter is, because like I said on the bobber, I'm gonna call this the Scout, I'm gonna call it the Triumph Bonneville Bobber. On the bobber, you're more sit like this. So your feet are kind of like tucked like that kind of, versus, you know, you being kind of stretched out. Not too stretched out, you're kind of right in the middle. You got like perpendicular in between that and then kind of farther out. And we're sitting in between. So not an aggressive stance, but not a lazy one either. So downshifts on this are butter. And the stock exhaust note sounds so good. But of course I wish I had an aftermarket. I would love to hear this with an aftermarket exhaust. I bet it would just sound absolutely mean. And that's one thing I liked about the bobber so much, is that it just had a very nice and it had a very nice and crisp exhaust note from the factory. And the pipes went out on both sides. On here you got a dual exhaust setup on one side. All right, we're gonna get into this thing, see what she can do, see what we get. Wow, you did say that. I heard about a false neutral. I just got it. That's okay, that happens. I know how I need to shift this now. I can't be lazy and shift it. All right, this clutch, you gotta really shift it. Wow, I really love the center of gravity on this bike. It feels so good. It's comfortable, it's lightweight, and the brakes, wow, the brakes really bite on this. Indian put some really good brakes on these bikes. Yeah, see, bar and mirrors, drop down capable. All right, we're back. Hold on. There we go. Woo! That was fun. Let me slow it down. Ah, this baby rides. Unlike the bobber, the Scout does have an RPM gauge. That's one thing the bobber didn't have. But when you ride this bike, it's not meant to be like a performance-oriented thing to an extent. Now, Indian likes to shake things up a little bit. Just like with the Victory Octane, this is nothing more than a Victory Octane with a different look to it. Oh man, that is, oof. You can definitely feel that 72 foot-pounds of torque. Like, it's not too much for this chassis and this size, but it's just enough to get your feet wet, and just enough for you to feel the grunt of the twin that's between your legs. Like, it feels so good. It feels really good. The overall styling of this bike, I love the bobber a lot, but the Scout, this Scout bobber has like, it sits low. It doesn't necessarily sit forward, but it kind of sits downward a little bit, and it just adds another appeal to it. And the fender, it's not fully like covering the tire to an extent. It's kind of chopped off halfway, and it's like he was throwing his hand out at us. It's not like everything on this is just And that's one thing I like that Indian did, well, rather Polaris, when they canceled the Victory line, people were outraged about it. Oh, you're canceling Victory, and that's just the end of it. But no, what they did, Polaris pretty much just took the Victory DNA and put it into Indians. And this is what we got out of that. We got the Instead of the Victory Octane, now we got the Scout line and the Scout Bobber. And I think they're doing a really good job with it. You know, I'm sure it was a difficult decision for them to just cancel that line. Oh, there's the peg. Scraped it. I'm sure they felt like, you know, they would be losing a fan base or something. But no, like, they've done a really good job with this. I'm really impressed with this Scout Bobber. Whoa, dude. Like, that power delivery. That power delivery is awesome. Let's see if I can do a little slingshot here. I could have a lot of fun with this. Oh man, this is putting a smile on my face. This bike is really putting a smile on my face. Wow, I did not think I would have this much fun on this bike. Wow. Oh man, that power delivery is so good. It's right there. There is no lag in it. It gives it to you right then and there. This bike is no short of power at all. And honestly, you would think with a lack of a windshield, there would be like a lot of wind blasts, but no. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. This bike sits low and is able to not only look good at that height, but it's actually able to, performance-wise, cut a lot of the wind out. Wow, this is so much fun. This bike is a lot of fun. Like a lot of fun. Oh man, I don't know which one I like more. I don't know which one of these I like more, man. This is a really fun bike. Like, it's putting a smile on my face. I like it. This guy. You scrape the peg. Up, scrape on. You gotta really shift this. I did the false neutral again, almost. Oh man, I like this so much. Oh man, it has the power to go with it. Wow, this is so much fun. Like, this is, wow. I did not expect this, man. Like, I know it had the power, but God, it's always different when you can expect something and actually riding it and feeling it and experiencing it, right? Like, this is a fantastic machine, and it's comfortable. Like, this is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this a lot. Oh, Indian, you are doing beautiful things, yo. I absolutely 100% approve everything that you are doing. Polaris, you are doing the dang thing. I approve. All right, let's see here. Like, there is that torque build-up. I said it was kind of instant, and it feels like it, but it's like that, and it takes off, and it takes off. See, watch. There, see, there it is. It comes on at $5,000. That's what it feels like. It feels like the power comes on at $5,000. But yo, this bike only has 72 foot-pounds of torque and 100 horsepower, but it feels like more. But then again, the weight of it doesn't weigh that much. I think this bike weighs right at 600 pounds, maybe, if that. But this is an overall beautiful package, man. I love this. Look how quick I'm coming up on him. It's nice. It's very, very nice. I honestly can't tell you which one that I like more. Like, I like the Bobber. The Bobber, it had a certain characteristic to this engine, and I love the finer details that they did, where like the heads of the exhaust, the little rivets and billets that they put on there, the little star-shaped head covers and all that. Like, they put a lot of, not necessarily thought into the engine, but the overall detail of it. They really like the brushed aluminum exhaust and the brushed handlebars and the riding modes and the headlight and the shocks, and they just put so much detail and thought into that bike. But this one just looks so menacing. Like, it just looks mean, man. The Bobber just looks like it looks classic. And I can say that the Scout Bobber looks more classic, but it has it's like it's venturing into two different worlds. Like, the Scout Bobber looks like a muscle bike and a bobber, versus the Triumph Bobber, it just looks like a bobber. See what I'm saying? Like, 'cause this literally reminds me of an M109 as far as the stance goes. It reminds me of a V-Rod, but it's a bobber. It's got that very chopperish feel to it. It's got that chopped off end, and you know, it's got your feet kind of sticking in the mid position. Not too aggressive, but not too comfy, but at the same time, it's got you pulled forward. I still haven't gotten used to neutral yet. Well, no, this is a very well put together bike. And I bet anybody that gets this would be very satisfied. I got the steel braided lines. I'm assuming that's what that is. I don't see anybody being able to ride this bike, however, with boots. I don't think it would be comfortable. Why? Because for me, I'm already like my height, I'm 5'10", 5'11", and see my knees? Like, I'm almost at the top of the tank. So anybody that's over my height and then having boots, I don't think it would be that comfortable. But otherwise, I think you would be okay if you're around my height. You like it? Okay. He's kind of iffy about it. But no, this is a very good package. It's got a very satisfying stock note. Like I said, I would love to put an exhaust on it and then open it up. Put a different, you know, some different air filters in it, and maybe a cam. Oh my grief, if you put a cam on this, or you put a supercharger on this would be absolutely mental. Like, this would be mental. Like, you probably better keep it on the ground. This would be mental. This light frame with this amount of power stock. Like, yeah, that would be absolutely absurdly insane. See, we do have a bolt here that's unscrewing. Probably need to tighten that up. All right, mods that I would do to this bike starting out. Of course, the exhaust. I would also possibly put an LED headlight in this. I will probably switch the mirrors down to the down position so they're kind of down here. It gives me that more cafe style look. Let's see if I can not hit neutral this time. Yep, see, there it is. When you actually go ahead and shift it out, you're good to go. Now let's see, can we clutchless upshift? Yep, you can. Like butter. Let's see, can we clutchless downshift? I'm a rev match, hold on. It gives you a little grunt when you try it. Let's see here. Yep, you can. Yeah, it likes that. I like it too. I like it a lot, baby. Woo, woo. Okay, it sucked those up very well. Everything about this is just good. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, I really like this bike. I forget your name in the comments. I think it was Royan. I think he owns a Scout Bobber, and he was telling me to ride this. So I'm doing it. I'm riding it now. And you were right. You were right. You were right, buddy. This bike is, that bump. It didn't hurt, it just bounced me. You were right, this bike is really good. This is a very good bike. And yes, this does have more power than the Bobber. And it feels that it has more power. Now, I will say this about the Bobber, the Triumph. The Triumph felt like it had more power than what it did. And again, it sat low, and it had that very small tank, and that was the biggest thing that turned me off about the Bobber. It didn't have a big tank. So I mean, this one looks like it's probably a gallon or two. Well, maybe not 2 gallons, but at least a gallon bigger. So that allows you to get a longer rides without stopping. But the whole target audience of the Bobber line, both Indian and Triumph, is not necessarily for long rides, but it's that city ride, that going to the bar ride, that weekend or morning sunrise ride, or that late night moonlight ride. That ride where you're just like, I'm going on my bike and I'm gonna ride to clear my head, and you just got nothing in your way but the open road, and you look good while you're doing it. Like, God, this is just a fantastic looking bike, man. And it feels so good. Like, that notice is satisfying. It's not a lot, but for a stock presentation of a bike, it is very good. I like how they did that, though. That was pretty cool. Whoop. Yes, when you firmly shift this bike, it does not go into neutral. So yes, you firmly have to shift. We're gonna really get a chance to stop the suspension. This part of the road is very bumpy. Whoa. Oh, I see. Woo! Look at it. It just wants to go. Right lane closed ahead. Okay, that's not good. Power delivery on this bike is just so good. Oh, it's just so good. This is the best Indian that I have ridden. I've ridden the Chieftain before. You haven't seen my Chieftain video, go check it out. I have ridden the Chieftain and I like that bike too. But this is by far the best Indian I have ever been on. I think I've ridden 3 now. Sounds good. Oh. This guy's gonna kill somebody. Oh, he did that. Yes, that's good. Yes, I would love to hear this bike and ride it with an exhaust on it. I bet it just opens this bike alive. I bet it just makes it not open alive. I bet it makes this bike just come alive. But yes, this is the end of this demo ride. I want to thank y'all for watching. Like I said, go check out some of my other videos, my other demo rides. And hope y'all subscribe. If you like this video again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for some of my future content and some of my old content. I will catch y'all in the next one. Yes, I like this a lot. Oh, I really like this. I really like this. We're gonna make that a wrap. Catch y'all in the next one. That's awesome. I want it.